We are 25 days into 2025, and it has been 25 days of me retaining my seed, not releasing. So 25 days, 25 for 25, 100%. We're good on that aspect. So that's the weekly check-in, but it's a little bit deeper than that for me. And so I have this book here called The Game Plan. It was given to me by my mentor, Bob, and the what the book is men's 30-day strategy for attaining sexual integrity. And so for me, I'm on this journey of retaining my seed, but for me, it's a little bit deeper than that. It's about being sexually pure in the eyes of God. And so the standard for me is a little bit higher than just not nutting, not masturbating or anything like that. It's a little bit deeper. So I'm going to explain that and then kind of go through this checklist that this book has for me for actual true accountability. So in the eyes of God, and Jesus said this, is that if you look at any woman with lust, you've already committed adultery in your heart. So looking at a woman with sexual intent is the same in God's eyes as committing adultery. Obviously, I don't want to commit adultery, so I don't want to lust or look at woman with sexual intent. So that's for me this week. In real life, like not on the internet, in real life, I did a really good job of making sure that I wasn't looking at women with sexual intent. Places like the gym, I work on a college campus, so that can be difficult at times, but this week I made sure that my brain was in a good place. I was protecting my brain, protecting where my eyes were looking, and that definitely helped me not fall into that. There's definitely attractive people, especially at the gym, but I just made sure to never let my brain go to the place where it'd be lust, looking for too long and looking with sexual intent. So good job there. But there are definitely areas that I slipped up this week. One thing I'm learning, I've known, but just got reminded of this week, is that the food that I eat is very important into me maintaining the routines and habits that will allow me to stay in this journey for long term. And so I ended up going to a roommate's birthday party on Wednesday and overate there, and then end up staying up late. And this was Wednesday night. So that night, I ended up re-downloading Twitter on my phone, which there's no good reason for me to have Twitter on my phone. It really is only used to lust and look at things that I'm not supposed to look at. So I re-downloaded Twitter and was going back to the normal Twitter pages, or I guess it's X now, X pages that I used to go to when I was participating in PMO daily or multiple times a week. And I went back to those pages, and luckily God saved me from myself, and I was just too sleepy to go through the effort of actually masturbating and going through with that process. So I ended up not PMOing on Wednesday night, but definitely I looked at pornography. So the first question in my accountability checklist is, did I look at pornography this week? And unfortunately this week I cannot answer that question. I have to answer that question, yes, that I did look at pornography this week, which is not what I want. That does not reach the standard that God set for me, and that doesn't put me in a good position for accomplishing my goals and just being the person that I know God has called me to be. So that happened Wednesday night, and then stayed up late Wednesday night because of the overeating and things like that. And that led to me waking up later than I should have on Thursday, which led me not reading and writing and praying and going through my normal devotional time with God on Thursday. So Thursday was a weird day because I was apart from God all day. Didn't check in with him in the morning. And so I was just kind of off kilter, off track all day. And came home that night. I do remember I was prepared to go to a youth retreat that I was volunteering at this weekend. And I just didn't read my Bible that day. I also that same night was watching videos that I shouldn't have been on um, either Instagram or Twitter. Can't remember which one. But I do remember that night. I think it was Twitter. That night, I deleted Twitter off of my phone. So I can't go back to Twitter. Like I said earlier, there's no reason for me to be on Twitter. Um, there's information, but I just kind of get stuck in a rabbit hole. It's probably my least favorite social media. My algorithm's not tuned to, or I always end up on the For You side and not on the following side. Following side of Twitter is okay because it's kind of curated to what I like, but the For You side is just bad for me. So Wednesday night, I watch porn. Thursday night, I watch porn. Friday night and Saturday night, I was at a youth retreat at church, so didn't have the opportunity to, didn't want to, was focused on trying to serve and do the best I could there. And then now it's Sunday night. So 2 out of the 7 days since this week, I did watch pornography this week. And I'm more for that. I've asked God to forgive me, and to help me stay away from looking at things that I know I'm not supposed to look at. But the next question on this is, did you masturbate this week? And I can truthfully say that I did not masturbate this week. So I'm thankful for that. That for me is a win. Again, that's 25 days straight of not masturbating, of not releasing. I will say that sometimes people say they feel superpowers, they feel super in tune or super energetic, or they just feel really good when they don't PMO, and they don't watch porn, masturbate, or anything. And I felt like I was getting some of those, but then just watching porn, I kind of felt some of the effects of that go away. And it might not have been the actual watching, it might have just been the slipping of the routine of not being with God in the morning, of not going to bed on time, not eating the way that I normally eat. Those things slipped away, and then that slipped in me watching pornography again. But I think that a lot of the benefits of semen retention are the routine that comes along with not watching. So for me, when the routine slipped, a lot of the benefits kind of slipped away. But Sunday night, I'm prepared for Monday morning, and prepared to get back into the routine and the flow of things, and definitely want to come back and report back next week and be able to tell you guys that I didn't watch porn all week for all 7 days. So looking forward to that. So question 2 was, did I masturbate this week? And the answer to that is I did not. Question 3 is, did I keep up with my disciplines this week? Disciplines would just be waking up in the morning, reading, praying, writing down my prayers. And then another part of that would just be eating dinner early and going to bed on time. So did I keep up with my disciplines this week? No. I would say Thursday I didn't. Friday I didn't. Saturday and Sunday I did catch up my discipline. So 5 of the 7 days I did what I was supposed to do in terms of reading and praying, and writing in the morning. But the other days of the week I did not. So I did not go 100% on that this week. And I definitely want to get back into that. This week for me should be a little more standard in terms of have my after work activities, small group, volunteering, men's group, things like that I'll have. But also I won't have the youth retreat in the weekend, so my weekend will also be consistent as well. So I think I can go 7 for 7 in terms of going to bed on time, waking up on time. I'm not going to have any super late night activities that I can foresee right now. So I am looking forward to doing better at that this week in terms of going to bed on time, waking up on time, spending time with God, just doing the things, the consistent small things that I know will compound over time and bring me closer to God. So for number 3, I did not keep up my disciplines all this week, but looking to do better on that this week. Number 4 doesn't apply to me. It was, did you and your wife pray together this week? Don't have a wife, very, very single right now, but I do hope that my obedience and being sexually pure will put me in a position to be able to love a wife the way that God intended, if that does happen to me. But definitely not there yet. I guess if you don't know about me, 26, live in Alabama, stay in a 5-bedroom student housing apartment type of thing. I'm moving out in August to get my own place, but yeah, not many prospects on the dating front right now. just really focused on God and getting this stronghold of pornography and lust out of my life. And I definitely think a lot of doors and options will open up to me. Once I kind of have this stronghold. I'm gonna say defeated, but I have control over it, and I have systems set up to make sure that I don't fall back into my old ways. Number 5 was, did you let yourself look inappropriately at other women this week? In real life, the answer to that was I did not allow myself to do that. So that was a thumbs up on that. I would say with watching pornography on Wednesday and Thursday on my phone, that was definitely looking at women inappropriately, looking at them with sexual intent. I'm going to go thumbs down on that. So like I said earlier, we'll be working on that this week as well. And number 6 is, have you answered these questions honestly? Yes, answered all these questions honestly. So my big takeaway from this week would definitely just be avoiding late night eating. Like the domino that fell that started the watching porn again was the overeating, I'd say. So a little bit of gluttony, but also the timing of it. The timing of it led to me being up past midnight on Wednesday night, and then that led to me re-downloading Twitter or X, re-downloading it, and then that just kind of led to a downward spiral. And so I guess I've gotten better to the point where the bad decision of me eating the food that I ate and eating at the time that I ate didn't lead to me releasing, which would have been very bad, and I would have had to start the streak over and all that stuff. But it did lead to me watching, and watching is the first step. So I don't even want to get to the first step. I just want to stay away from it completely. So what I can do better this week is to every day this week just be done eating by 7. And then that will lead to me eating dinner earlier, leads to me my food adjusting, and then being able to go to bed earlier. And there's so much temptation that you avoid just by going to bed earlier. Like your brain doesn't go certain places. You're just not as tempted. Like your guard doesn't come down as much if you're in bed by 10:30 versus if it's midnight and thoughts and different things can get into your brain. So gotta focus on the timing of the eating, and also just focusing on reading, writing, praying, doing the things that I've been doing a good job of for the most part in 2026. I'm going to continue doing those things and be consistent with that this week. Just have to make sure that I can plan my days out and make sure everything goes well. I was happy that I got to go and celebrate my roommate's birthday on Wednesday. What I would have done differently is to have eaten before I got there, and then once I got there, just eat an appetizer, eat something like either appetizer or dessert, but not eat the full meal there. So I could still participate and not be like, oh, I already ate, but just to eat something lighter there, and that will also help with diet and things like that and not overeating. But it would also help me just be in a place where I could get to bed earlier. I remember when I came upstairs that night at around 11, I was not ready to go to bed. I was still pretty stuffed, and that just led to me, I wasn't ready to go to bed. And so there was this gap, there was a place for temptation to enter. And I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm consistently putting myself in positions to be tempted. So the thing I can improve on from that situation is just to, again, eat earlier, but to still be able to go and support my friend on his birthday. But overall, not the best week, probably the worst week of 2026 in terms of lust and things like that. But I was still, the Lord helped me out enough to not end the streak of semen retention. So I'm going to keep going 25 days, and I'm excited to be able to record this video next Sunday and give you guys an update of where I am and how things went. I definitely enjoy doing this because it's like I have another accountability person. Right now I have 2 people that I'm accountable to, which being my dad and then a mentor from church. Another story, I actually met a guy at a training for a volunteer thing I do, and we had to tell 2 other guys in like this small group about our story. and I was honest, and I've been more open on social media and in real life about my struggles with porn. And one of the guys in the group pulled me to the side afterward and was like, "Hey, I've definitely struggled with that." He's like, "We should meet up and kind of like talk and connect and be able to hold each other accountable." And that was a cool experience for me, like seeing the benefit of confession, just being open and honest about stuff. Porn is a weird thing where 80-90% of guys are participating in it, and for guys that are Christian that are not trying to live that lifestyle anymore, we still don't talk about it nearly enough. It's weird, it's uncomfortable, but there is freedom in confession. The Bible talks about confessing your sins to other believers so that they can pray for you and that they can be a part of your journey and uphold you accountable. And it's something that I didn't want to do for a while, but I was bold enough and had enough courage and trusted God enough to tell my mentor at church and then to tell my dad. And then I'm slowly becoming more open to it with other people. And it's cool. For me, it's been a good thing because I don't feel alone when temptation hits. I know that there's people depending on me, people that are checking up on me. And it feels good to not feel like I'm fighting the battle alone. I realize that I always knew my actions had consequences, but the consequences now come faster. So if I were to mess up, I have to tell someone the next day. I can't wait a whole week. And so, because it's so easy to justify the sin, you're like, let's say you mess up and then 2 or 3 days go by, and then you have to tell someone, you can easily justify in your brain and be like, okay, I went 2 or 3 days, I'm good again, I won't ever do it again. I don't need to tell them because I'm not going to do it again. Whereas like now there's like daily accountability of like, I need to check in with my dad every day. I have to check in with Bob once a week. I have to check in with YouTube once a week now. And so having shorter periods of where I have to tell someone definitely helps. But getting back to meeting with the guy I met at the training, it was good to be able to connect with him and kind of swap short stories for a little bit. We'll go deeper when we actually have coffee and meet up again. But it was cool to meet another believer, another person that's on this journey as well, and he may be able to give me some tips. But even if not, he will be able to help hold me accountable. And like the more people I can bring into this journey that I'm going into, the better I think it's going to go. I think I mentioned this in the last video. The pastor from Lake Point Church in Texas said that a lot of men's issues need to be gang tackled. You can't try and tackle it by yourself. So I feel as if the more people that I help bring into this journey with me, that can help hold me accountable, that can help me out, the better, because temptation is coming. I'm trying to not put myself in those situations, but the cost of giving in to temptation is becoming higher and higher and higher. Every day that goes by where I let temptation, or I give in to temptation, is a day further from my goals, is a day where I'm not going to become the man that God wanted me to become. And there's not infinite time. I'm not going to be on earth forever. I want to be able to experience some of the things that God has put in front of me. And I won't be able to experience the fullness of that if I keep giving it to temptation whenever it comes. And so just having people on the team has definitely helped me out a lot. Those are the things I have to say for this video. I don't think anybody's watching to the end of this video, but if you did, thank you for watching. This is going to be a good week. I'm encouraged. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Thank you guys. And honestly, thank you, Lord, for helping me make it these 25 days, on to 25 more.